Hey, 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 hey. Can you guys hear me okay? We're just going to jump right in. Sweet. Hey, look what I got there, critter. Had some leftover from Canada. Wait, was I supposed to declare that on the border crossing? So yeah, the live stream is chips and beers. That's what we got, chips and beers at the gas station. So welcome. What the hell, GoPro? Well, that was the overhead camera, and it just turned off. So we're going to do two shots. That one, not that one, and that one. All right. So yeah, chips and beers. That's what I was going to have at the Get Lost Mini, but Chris wasn't going to let me do that. So we ended up ordering pizza, almost as good as, yeah, Insta360 for real. Almost as good as what I was saying. Let's see who all we got here. We got Sideways Stan, we got Mr. Pancakes and the Critters and Valkyrie. Do 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 do. GoPro doing GoPro things for freaking real. And I had battery hooked up to it. I don't know what the heck is. The pizza, it was pretty good. It was they didn't call it the works, but it was the works. It had a lot of good stuff on there. So you guys have any guesses on what we're making? Any guesses at all? If I put that there, is it going to draw the focus? Nachos. That's a good guess. I'm going to clear that message. I'm looking underneath tripods and stuff. Actions turn off. Okay, there we go. Pan fried bean. Oh, we're getting closer, critter. As I'm driving truck, I stop at gas stations all the time, and I'd say probably 99% of the time it is not healthy. But yes, sometimes you can get lucky. Sorry about that noise. I know I'm going to need this later. And I try to do okay with it, but it's not always possible. I did have a video recorded of me walking through the gas station, through the aisles and stuff like that. And I did not Dorito beer pancakes. I did not have time to get the video loaded into StreamYard before the live. I was like less than 10 minutes ago finalizing the audio and got on the horn with Mr. Matt Tomamoto to test it out. And yeah, last minute. Well, in that gas station, there was syrup. I don't remember seeing a pancake mix. That's, yeah. What's the challenge there, Crashy? Because there's only like 2 gas stations within driving distance of the North Island there where we camp. You know what I didn't check? Is that can Okay. I was like, do I have a can opener in my kitchen? I do have a can opener, I think, in my kitchen. But one of the ingredients does come from a can, and luckily it's a pull tab. All right. What do we got? I'm going to mute my... No, I probably shouldn't mute it. I'll just put it over here. All right. So yes, the Doritos is one of the ingredients. Chips is another ingredient. But the point with the gas station gourmet is there's not just... It doesn't have to be just, you know, a bag of chips and beers and go back to camp. You can actually cook an okay meal, usually. What's that? Look at that. I didn't even notice that. Good job. 7-layer dip. You know what? That would actually be possible. You might be limited on the 7 layers, but yes, that is the EPK sitting right over there. The big roll, though. This dirt here is pretty hard, though. I would have a hard time digging a cat hole in the dirt. So, how you doing, Mike? I need some more beer. It's like hot. 70 degrees hot. I'm just not acclimated. I wear shorts all year long, so 70 degrees and I'm sweating. So yeah, let's get started with the, well, not really the first ingredient, but an ingredient. So Hormel chili is not my favorite, but it will do for this because that's what the gas station had, and I stuck to that. I had a couple other ideas for recipes, but the gas station I went to did not have one or more of the ingredients needed. Can you guys, there's like a community park thing right over there, and I just want to make sure you guys don't hear the people over there screaming nice. They're playing. It just, I can hear it. I just don't know if the mic picks it up. You don't dig, you play some spread. Oh yeah. Yeah, that would get the leave no trace folk peeved. Okay, thank you. Outside as expected, exactly. What about the motorcycles running around? That I don't mind though. Okay, cool. Kitty, how you doing? I'm gonna switch over to that one. So we are going to somewhat keep it tidy for now. Do I want to do the whole can? Yeah, we'll warm up the whole can. Maybe. Let's grab a spoon. So what are you guys planning on doing this weekend? Is it weather going to be as nice there as it is here? I was planning on doing some excavating work, but that got rescheduled for the following weekend. Okay, that'll work there. Let's turn on some gas. So I think this weekend for me is just going to be getting out and playing. I did ride today. I rode yesterday. Hopefully I'll get out and ride again tomorrow. Chili cheese nachos. Good guess. Critter, how much longer are you going to be on that job? Are you going to like retire from that one there? Yeah, Mike, you have had a few. Let's see, we did one on the way to Giant Loop, and that is like sizzling fast. I haven't done too many guinea pig recipes on Mike yet. I usually play the ones safe that I know I've already tried a couple of times. We did do chicken and mole. I think we did that at that state park on the way to Giant Loop. That was actually okay. And then I think one night we did the dirty beans and rice with kielbasa. That was a good one. That's a good one. That was my first RV. That's like when I was RV camping, the night that I would show up at camp. I just wanted something quick and easy, and it had two ingredients. You cook some rice. It was like a Zatarain's rice, and fry up some kielbasa or sausage, one of those U-shaped packages of sausages. You fry that up, you throw it in the rice, and it's amazing. Let's see. But yeah, resting, that's probably a good idea, Brittany. Chili cheese pancakes. Throw some bacon on there. Chili cheese pancakes. Can those go together? Would they? Would I want to try that? Be here all year. Found out a ton of rot all over the exterior. Oh my gosh. I thought you were just going to close up the drywall and be done. Like and subscribe. That seems like it warmed up way too fast. But I am doing it in a skillet instead of a pan. That might be part of it. It might be this. I don't know if I can even turn it down any more than that. Let's see. Let me switch over here. I'm going to switch over here. I'm going to turn this off for a second. That seems like it's already hot. Raise it to the ground and restart. Right, Brittany? Yeah. Stuffed chili cheese pancakes. Do like a chili cheese sausage rolled up in a pancake. I could do that, but it'd have to be like a breakfast sausage. So gourmet. You know what? Yeah, I was wondering about that. Was it clickbaity because it's not really gourmet? But when it comes to gas station food and you're not buying like a hot dog or something. So that pan is a 10-inch pan, I believe. Does it say on the side? It's probably like, yeah, it's an Alpha Pan. It's a Alpha Pan 10. Got it from Ben at motocampnerd.com. And the reason I got that size pan was because this two-person bowls and cups and a pot, there's like a simmering pot in there. It all fits inside that pan. Let's switch over there. So all of this, so I have actually two frying pans, a pot, two bowls, and two cups that all fit inside 10-inch by 1.5 inches, and then I put the cutting boards in between to protect the non-stick on that one. Chili. So yes, Santa, I am doing a live stream. We're gonna do so I'm gonna do live streams monthly. I'm gonna do the fourth Friday every month. Ian, Motorcycle and Pancakes, he's doing first Friday every month. Matt Tomiyamoto is doing second Tuesday every month. Chris is doing third Friday every month. So we just finished off the month. And then if Owen ever wants to jump in there, we'll alternate, or that's the plan anyways. We'll see. Gas stations do have some decent options sometimes, but some of them also require that you stay close to a restroom. So I'll try it once, but I'm usually out and about in the same area, so I'll try something once and see how my body reacts, kind of like Taco Bell. And if I'm not sure, I won't experiment. So cheeseburgers by Bubba J, huh? Nice. Oh my God. Oh, that would be cool if you guys did a live stream. Just let us know so we can schedule it. Make sure that we're all available. Don't just pop it up on us last minute. Yeah, Mike, I'll be there in about 4 hours. I'll cook you guys dinner. Hey, Taco Bell has some good stuff, but yes, we'll just leave it at that. It's not something I can plan on being 3 hours from a restroom from. Fresh fruits and veggies in almost none of the gas stations, Chris. Very rarely. You pretty much have to go to a supermarket for that, yeah. There are, yeah, it'd either be like a some of the bigger convenience stores, but as far as, so for me, you got the gas station with snacks, and that's all it is. That's the majority of them, but some of them have actually a good sized convenience store that you can walk into, and some of those will have a little bit of an option, but not something you can depend on. No. Like I went back to the same gas station for this one twice just to see if there was any other options for what I could do, and there were not. But well, I take that. So they had a couple cans of ravioli on there, a couple cans of SpaghettiOs, but I mean, it's not like I couldn't find an onion. That was one thing that I was looking for one of the recipes, was an onion that I could cut up. I couldn't find that. There was no banana, packaged sugar. I couldn't find any of that. So that's good to know there for BC that you can. So yeah, the bigger one, yeah, like a Love's, that you probably got some there. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones, but that is a larger one. A Buc-ee's, which we don't have up here in the Northwest. That's like a southern thing, but they have a whole huge store. The store is more about, the gas station's more about the store than it is about the gas station is more about shopping in the store than it is actually getting gas. Flying J pilot. No, that's what I was thinking of. Yes, we do have some jokes there in the chat. Yep, you're right, Ian. Truck stops are probably the best options as far as that. I don't do too much highway stuff. Most of my stuff is within Western Washington, and it's even within about 4 counties. So I will jump on the highway, but I don't go past too many truck stops. All right, so I think it's warm. It is warm, but it's not hot. Been a minute since I've had Hormel's. It's a little bit, remember. So no, I have not said, okay. So one of the recipes tonight will be Frito pie. That was one of them. So I do have a bag of Fritos. I don't have scissors. I'm not allowed to have scissors because I will run with them. So I hide that. Good. So Frito pie, the idea, let's see if I can get this out, is that you just cut up in the bag and you throw all your ingredients in there. I don't need that anymore. I didn't even tell Tall Man what I was cooking. He was asking me last night. And then, no. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't be here, right? No, I'm kidding. He would have been here. If you can ride to a truck stop, they generally have apples in it. Yeah, because truck drivers, they can't live off of Subway and gas station food. That's just not fair. So is there something else that instead of gourmet for the truck stop that we could call it? Because like gas station gourmet, you got the 2 G's, so it's kind of making a play on words. Moto Camp Meals with my ADV 360 is kind of going with the M's. Is there something we can do with truck stops? Fritos. You don't have Fritos, Chris? You guys, your chip aisle was definitely different up there than what we've got down there. Yes, no scissors but knives, yes. Okay. Do I need to bring some Fritos up there? So that's just a corn chip. Kind of like a tortilla, but in strips. Kind of more processed than a. a nacho chip. But anyways, so what we do is you take the bag, like I said, throw your ingredients on there, because the idea is just to make less dirty dishes, or something you can just carry around and eat. I don't know who came up with the idea, but I like it because it's convenient. Let's not drop things, Corey. And the gas station I went to did not have shredded cheese or onion, like I mentioned earlier. So we're going to throw some Tostinos. I guess we'll dirty another spoon. I'll wash dishes. So like I said, they didn't have an onion, which I would have also liked to have thrown shredded cheese on here and chopped up some onion for it. And that's what we got. Bag of goodens. Switch over there. Yeah. Don't fall down on me. Don't fall down on me. We're just going to mix all that up. It would have been better with shredded cheese and onion, but I like it. So yeah, we also have a corn chips, but usually they're the triangle shaped ones, and they're, I don't know. I've heard people talk about there's so much oil left in these, you could use them for fire starter. The smugglers are gonna transport some Fritos over there. Right? Yeah. And honestly, if I did a little bit of research, some of the cans you can actually cook or warm up inside the can, but then some of them have a liner, like plastic liner or something like that, that separates the food from the metal. I think Hormel is one of the ones where you can actually warm it up in the can without it having any extra bad things come off inside there, but I couldn't remember. So if that was the case and you could, then really the only thing that you're dirtying is a utensil. The good thing about this kind of cheese, though, is it doesn't have to be super hot to melt the cheese, where the shredded cheese, you'd want it to be a little bit warmer. Why is this thing not wanting to cooperate? Okay. So on that, a variation of the Frito pie would be, I think it's called walking tacos. Chris, you guys had another name for it up there, but you could take like Doritos, for example, or something like that. They usually, let me get back here. You did yours wrong, Chris, at Mike's. That's actually a good idea there, Raptor. At the Little League, when they go to the concession stand, that's a good idea. So we have Frito-Lay corn chips. Okay, so they probably are the same. They just don't have the Fritos brand. Bag of nachos. Yeah, you would have thought about using the bag. It's awkward, but I mean, if you had a plastic utensil and you didn't have any dishes then, but then would that be wasteful? Oh, shoot. So you did the cans over the fire, but you didn't open them? Soup explosion. Secret weapon. Right? Yeah, no dishes. Wasn't that weird? So you could do plastic utensils, which you can probably get at the gas station too, and then not have any dishes if you were to warm it up in the can. But like I said, I would research that first. It's not dirty if you lick it clean. I think that could be taken a different way. So my other idea for tonight was to do, like I said, the walking tacos, and then that would be, you could do it with the chili, but I think the chili is kind of the Frito thing, the Frito pie thing. So you could maybe have the small bag of, I don't know, kettle chips or something like that, or Doritos or something. Same thing, cut it open. You could throw some chili on there. But for me, my idea with the walking tacos was that you would have a different protein, not the chili, but it could be a ground beef, maybe some taco seasoning in it. Or you could do like a can of chicken and maybe add some of that tahini powder to it, or taco seasoning also. But the convenience store, gas station that I went to didn't have hamburger. Not that wasn't cooked. I mean, you could have gotten a hamburger, but then you might as well just eat the hamburger. They did have a can of, they had a little lunch tuna thing, which could have been interesting. They had small cans of tuna and chicken. So the chicken, but they didn't have any seasoning that I could put on it. So if I wanted to stick to this being a gas station thing, so if I had like a tahini powder that I carried in my kit, then I could say, okay, well, it was still gas station food because I got it all there. But the tahini powder, I guess I could have put some salsa in there, and that would have worked. But I like I said, I couldn't find another protein and the seasoning that I thought would complement it. But we will try something else. We're going to go back to that nacho theme. Unfortunately, I don't have the Pizza Bandit here tonight. So we're just going to put this back on. Because if I had the Pizza Bandit here again, like the last live, I wouldn't have any leftovers or extra food. So actually, whoa. We're going to jump over here. So since I didn't have the small bag of chips, I will dirty another dish. So we will take, well, let's open the bowl. I'm going to throw some of the Doritos in there. We're going to smash them a little bit because I want to be able to eat it with a spoon. So we have the chili, we have the cheese, and we have the salsa. Come on, someone give me a hard time about that. Whittle a fork. How far back do I got to go? Oh, whittle a sport. Let's turn that down. I don't want to sizzle that. Crock pot. So do I need to move that over there, Chris? Is that bothering you? Put that in. Oh man. Dash engaged. See, beer brats, that would have been good. But that was, again, see, I didn't even think about that. They had Vienna sausages in a can, but they didn't have brats because the beer brats would have been good. Maybe like a thing of sauerkraut to go with it. Bag of nachos at the gas station, hot dog. Hot sauce packets. Toiletto? Shit. Well, thank you, Tom. Time for another. That's a good idea. But you know what? I only have one of each of the beers left. I drank one of each. So it was an 8-pack there. And the Chili Willy was one of the better ones. Down Under. That was a little bit hoppy for me. That's probably the last one I should have. What was the fruity one, Chris? Monster Jam. That was the, yeah. And then Hard Day. Another hoppy. Okay. So we crushed up some Doritos. I don't trust this handle. We're going to throw some of the chili on there. So with this, I spent about $22 US, and you could feed 2 people easily. 3, probably. Well, that's the big bag of Doritos, the small bag of Fritos, the can of chili, the salsa, and the cheese. So yeah, you could feed 3 people. And then, we're just gonna. Boop. All right, there you go. 4 ingredients. I think we need more chips. Yep. Do you guys, tomato soup, do you guys crumple up the saltines into your tortilla soup? That was just I did that, and that made me think of my childhood, taking a whole package of saltine crackers and crushing it up and throwing it in my bowl. I have to say, that's pretty dang good. No, don't move it. So Monster, is that what you said was the fruit? That was the fruit. Okay, the juicy IPA. That was probably my favorite. Chili Willy was the second, I think. Maybe I was pretty close between the two. So I thought about doing like a Cool Ranch Doritos, but I wasn't sure about the taste. I think what I'll do is next time I go to Costco, I'll get that box of like, I don't know, 25 or 50 bags of chips and then just try different chips with different proteins, different sauces. Oh, the spicy nacho actually has a little bit on the backside there, the flavor profile backside. That's good. Yeah, so even if it fed two people, $11 each, and you've got chips for the next day for, you stop during your ride. Exactly. Chris, if you're not eating out and if you're not staying in a hotel, motorcycle travel is very cheap. After all somebody I had when I started buying my gear, I wanted to do like the Pacific Crest Trail or the Appalachian Trail or the Continental Divide Trail. And that's like a multi-month hike. So I was buying all this ultralight gear and things. And somebody had said something about that it's like the most money that you can spend to live like a homeless person. And that was a good point because you're living out of a tent for months, not just, a long weekend or a week, but months. And then maybe stopping once a week or something like that in a hotel to take a shower, maybe going to town and do some laundry. That was a very good combo. I think that's kind of a waste for size. If, for two people, just because the glass isn't going to travel well. I mean, if you're doing a highway trip, it would be okay, but off-road and the bike falls and you're going to have a pannier full of salsa and queso if you kept it for the next day. But for the day of, to go pick it up, take it to camp, and then drop it off at the next gas station when you're done with all your trash. Good option there. So Sideways Stan, are you almost done with your Amazon job? Is that what you're wrapping up there? Got all your bills paid off? It's how do I feel about eating in front of all of you guys and not sharing? You know what? Come on over, everybody. I'm not going to tell my wife that I invited you. Just show up. I'll deal with the aftermath. Come on over. I'll feed you. Man, that has some heat. I'm watching a spider run across right in front of the camera. But yeah, the Continental Divide, that would have been the third one I would have done. I would have done probably the Appalachian Trail first, just because that's the oldest one and it's the shortest one, but it's also on the East Coast. On the West Coast, they have the Pacific Crest Trail. That would have been my second one. It's a little bit longer, and your stops for replenishment are spread out a little bit more. And then when you get the CDT or the Continental Divide Trail, your replenishment stops are spread out even further. Just your 10 days, 2 weeks, I think, in between getting to a place where you can pack stuff out for like to restock on food and stuff. Like that would be a tough one, because then for like the first couple of days you're carrying a lot of food, and it gets lighter as you get towards the next stop, but that's a lot of weight. He's eating an infant? Is that what? In front? Oh. I missed that. %. That's my goal. Is I've got some debt to pay down. Not a lot. I should probably do what Sideways Stan did and get that second job and just knock that debt down, get rid of it, and get on the bike. 4 credit cards and a bike. That's awesome. Well, for the CDT, I was talking about hiking, or in the Appalachian Trail and the PCT. I was talking about hiking, but on a motorcycle, yeah, I mean you can do 100, 150 miles, so you're going to be at another stop way sooner than if you're hiking it. I'm sorry I can't share. I really am. And I'm sorry that the pizza bandit isn't here to take what's going to be left over. You guys have any other ideas for proteins that you could do? Like, say, you know, if I wanted to do that with these kettle chips, what's something you could throw on there? I could probably do I bet the chicken on a potato chip like that, like I was talking about with the tahini. If you had a can of chicken, after you drain out the water, warm up a can of chicken, sprinkle the tahini powder on there. I don't know if I'd put cheese on that. If I threw that in there, I don't know. Canned tuna. That's a good idea. Definitely the chicken and salsa. Oh, that would be good. Spam. See, now they did have spam there, and another idea I was thinking about with the spam was to do the rice. I had this kid at work. His wife had made him lunch, and he actually brought in an extra one, and it was a bed of white rice and chopped up fried spam, scrambled eggs, and then that sweet chili sauce. That was the first time I'd ever had that sweet chili sauce. So it was, yeah, bed of rice, scrambled eggs, chopped up fried spam, and then the sweet chili sauce on top. Oh my God, that was amazing. So I've been in love with that sweet chili sauce, and that was the one we did. Was that the first live stream? I think it was the first live stream we did that we had that. Spam and eggs, 100%. Yeah. Pineapple salsa. I did think about that with the pineapple. So they did have a can of pineapple at the convenience store and the spam. I just wasn't sure what to put that on, but now I'm thinking about that. I don't remember seeing eggs either, but if I did the spam and the pineapple, I would admit, they didn't have pineapple salsa. They had this salsa, but I could do the spam, fry the spam and the pineapple, put that in there, and then the salsa on top. Yeah. Sweet chili pancakes. Spam and soy sauce pancakes. Oh my God. So what else do we want to talk about? What else do we want to talk about? You know, I just realized how dark that other camera was. I've got lights, but they were set when it was sunny outside. We'll just go with that. Masubi, what's that? Is that a rice? I think that's a rice. So that is something I usually. So does anybody else have, like, I have this square plastic container that every time we have leftover condiments, I throw it in there. So I've got soy sauce packets. I've got little Tapatio or Cholula packets in there. Funny thing is I never have ketchup and mustard, and I do have some mayonnaise packets in there. Mayonnaise is actually pretty good on chili. It was a weird thing that somebody had suggested once. I was like, what are you talking about? But what do I have in there? So I've got like Taco Bell salsa packets in there, soy sauce. There's a couple hot sauces in there. There's like the jam. If you get like a breakfast meal or something like that to go, the jam or honey or something like that, butter, the butter packets. I've got those. Does anybody else have a container like that they keep the extra little condiments in? Always try. You know what? No, I wouldn't say always try the weird suggestions, because my youngest kid would be mixing all kinds of weird concoctions, and I just, no. Now that he's in his 20s, don't yell at me, tall man. Now that he's in his 20s, you know, the Sour Patch and gummy worms and stuff don't go into as many of his crazy concoctions, but they have gotten better. Always. You have to do it in all caps, Matt. Plum sauce. I do have peanut butter and jam. Yeah. You can open the store. But I keep getting my condiments for some reason keep disappearing. I think somebody finds out that the tote, little square container that they all go in, get a little bit overfilled and lose. I thought they lasted forever, but I didn't realize that the little packets had expiration dates on them. I have some Spam that I was checking the other day, because that was one of the ideas before I had decided on doing the gas station gourmet. Was the Spam. I have a couple cans of Spam that are close to expiring. Like, maybe I'll need to use them for next month's live. Maybe I'll do that. Will you guys act surprised if I do that white rice and the scrambled eggs and the ham and the sweet chili sauce? Because if you're not going to act surprised, then I'm not going to do it. That was actually better than I thought. I think maybe it was the chip selection there. You know, Matt talks about how good the Taco Bell is, but I bet you the Taco Bell is what made him have to hold up in that hotel on his way to get lost last year. Spam and rice in a taco. Short attention span, so we're safe. All right. Deal, kitty. Surprised typing. That, yeah. Why don't you just have a font for that? Spam rice wraps. Oh. Because, yeah, then you wouldn't have, you'd just have this skillet for frying the eggs and frying the spam. And you could do the warm up, the rice in a bag. I think you got something there. Yeah, why not? Unless it's soup, I probably couldn't do a soup in a wrap. You gonna blame that on Pete, huh? Pete's the one that got you that bad food that. So I actually lived in Mexico for 9 months, almost a year, at the end of my Navy career. And my first wife was Mexican. And they did, the funny thing is, they didn't really do burritos. They did tacos, but just the fold in half kind of taco. Burritos were more of like a restaurant food. We didn't have them at home. But I used to, and I still do it to this day, tear off a piece of the tortilla, and then I'll pick up my food with the tortilla and I'll eat it like that. Soup in a wrap is tricky. What kind of beans, Tom? Beans and spam. I could see that. Not surprised at the sarcasm at all. Roasted tomato wrap, if it's roasted. Oh, you're talking about, so the wrap was made with the roasted tomatoes. Yeah. So black beans. I thought I saw something. It's just probably my old eyes. So black beans with spam. I'm down with that. I could try that. Anybody else hungry? Or are you just sitting here watching me eat? Probably is ghosts. Spam, rice, and sriracha. I don't know. After having that sweet chili sauce on that spam and rice and eggs, I never even thought to try something else, but whiskey and hockey, that sounds like a good combo there. I do love that rooster sauce, though. Mike's DoorDashed for the win. Delivered to Northern Canada. Yeah, it's only, what, an 18-hour drive there. It might be cold by the time I get there. I'll deliver the ingredients to you, though. I'm not going to mail it, though. I already found out how expensive it is to mail stuff up there. Fuel for the motorcycle is probably cheaper. So sideways, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking with that Zatarans, the red beans and rice. And I do that. I like the kielbasa. I'll slice that lengthwise, and then I'll chop it up, and I'll saute it. Not saute it, but put it in the skillet, brown it a little bit. That's my RV camping meal. Cold and stale, probably, yeah. 22 hours on the 250. I'm not going to do that on the 250. That's definitely an Africa Twin ride. Rice, chicken, and chili. I like that, Mike. Air fry. Oh, man. Blackberry shakes just sounds amazing right now. Truck burritos. Let's see. Rice, black beans, chicken wrapped in a tortilla with sour cream. I like that. So, Ian, how come you're not doing these? Yeah, exactly, Stan. Are we going to call you by your real name, or are we just going to call you by Sideways Stan? Just asking. But yeah, I was just talking to Soilsman yesterday. He did a trip the other day, last weekend, I think it was. He did like almost 1,200 miles or something like that in 2.5 days. No, if I'm doing more than about 400 miles, even on the Africa Twin, I'm doing 400 miles, and no. Really, Critter, you can do an air fryer off a battery pack. I was actually looking. So what I don't know if you guys, I pull a little trailer behind the bike, and I'm trying to figure out how I can carry all this gear and a satellite dish so I can get internet, so I can do these live streams actually out in the bush. But the battery pack is the one thing that's holding me up, because they're like $700 and they weigh 23 pounds or something like that. I'm just not sure. But yeah, I do like that truck burrito idea. So is the rice and the black, no, the rice, is it like a bag of rice, a can of the black beans, a can of chicken? Or are you like getting chicken breast or something like that and cooking that? So up here in the Seattle area, they have a restaurant called Dick's Burgers. They had, my work had their customer appreciation day today, and they brought the Dick's Burgers truck out for the customer appreciation day. So I, on my day off, had to go down and visit the store and get myself a Dick's burger. And yes, it's funny saying Dick's because we like greasy Dick's burgers. He does, Critter. He's doing some event where it's like 30 locations to take pictures with, and I think he's going to do like 3 in BC, 3 in Idaho, and 3 in Oregon also to get this certificate of something like that. Yes, Sideways Stan, the Starlink Mini is what I'm looking at, but I have the Starlink right now, the Gen 3, but it needs like a 110 plug unless you do a conversion thing and stuff. But I would like to switch that over for the Starlink Mini, because that will definitely fit in the bike. But to power all this stuff, I've got, well, 2 cameras today, normally 3, lights, the switch, the laptop, and then I would need internet. So probably wouldn't need too big of a battery bank, but something. So you have the Blue Eddy, 1800 watts. But yeah, in the motorhome, definitely. They really are. Dick's Burgers are great. And they're so simple. You need a Dick Burger. Yep. PNW Grand Tour, that's what it is. Yep. The 1-minute jasmine rice, black beans in a can. Oh, the bag of or the rotisserie would be amazing. And then the squeeze bag. That, yeah. Make it 100%. Let me, I'm going to have to get a, you know what? There's this thing called a photo. 3, zoom in. Okay, nobody do anything. Okay. Recipe saved. That's a great idea. I probably wouldn't need lighting, and honestly, if I just used the camera on the MacBook, I could probably get away with no lighting also. I gotta sneeze.
I think that means I need more beer.
Brapson Writing, welcome. So we did 2 gourmet meals. We did a Frito pie, which was a bag of Fritos. Do I still have that sitting here? So we did a bag of Fritos with some chili that we warmed up and some Tostitos cheese in a can. And then we also did Doritos with the chili, cheese, and nachos, or not the salsa, as like it would be like a version of the walking tacos and Frito pie. Duck fan made some chili, and it looked like it could be done at a gas station supply. Can you send if you don't have to, but I was just if you know easily where that can be found, I would be interested in that, because the chili on the bike, I bet you, a couple canned ingredients, couple bags of ingredients, warm it up, and then that one pot. So I mentioned earlier, so that Alpha 10 fits all this other stuff, and the main reason I wanted it was because I wanted to put, what do they call this? It's a Cedar Summit thing, but it's a set. It's got, so the other bowl, there's 2 bowls like this. There's 2 cups. And for liquid ingredients, you don't want to be sauteing on that, but so you've got a pot. You got a pot, 2 bowls, 2 cups, and they all fit inside that Alpha 10. And that would be great for doing a chili or something like that. Tall Mamoto thing. Exactly, Chris. So what I hear, Brapson, is that, yes, they are, Canadian gas stations are better. I'm not experienced with the stuff that's inside the store, but I guess they have fresh fruits and vegetables in their stores usually, more often than in the U.S. I have heard of that, Ian, doing that little burrito wrap thing and then throw it in the engine compartment. Now I got to think about that. There is so much engine crapped inside that Africa Twin. I don't know if I could find a spot. Maybe over the radiator or something like that. That is a good idea, though. A Harley Cook Crockerson idea. Mount on the back. Dude. Exact. I wish we had Buc-ee's out here. I think they're growing. I think we're getting closer and closer. So we're probably not too far from having a Buc-ee's out here. So another idea is, besides the gas station, Gourmet, different gas stations, pick up some ingredients. I was also thinking about doing like a dollar store, Dollar General recipe ideas that we could do. I've been in a couple of them to where like they have like a freezer in the back corner for like $5. You can get a steak. They've got all kinds of ingredients there. They're not all dollar ingredients. Obviously, you're not going to buy a steak for $1, but I bet a dollar store, Dollar General kind of thing. I bet we could do some really good meals out of there. All right, Monster Jam. Here we go, Monster Jam. Well, I got nothing else to cook here, fellas. Folks, I should say folks, it's not fellas. There are females in here. Or there was. Ride and I did think, Chris, not forage, but I did think about doing a catch and cook. You know, maybe do a little bit of trout fishing. I don't know enough about the foraging. But a catch and cook I could do. We just couldn't do a live stream catch because who knows how long it would take to catch. Yes, Kitty, I've seen Dollar Generals where there weren't even towns yet. It would be like, not even a gas station. It would be like you drive through and there's 2 houses in a Dollar General. It's not even a town. It's just like it's an unincorporated area that now has a Dollar General. Maker's Mark and Laguni. Look, huh? That does sound good. Yeah, a collapsible pole. I've got a couple different fly rods, and one of them compacts down to like 12-inch sections or something like that. It's not a great pole. It's really, really lightweight, so it would probably be fine for lake trout. Fresh caught fish is amazing. They are a dime a dozen. They're all over the place, so it's something that you could and get consistently get similar ingredients from. So you want to watch? Would anybody actually sit there and watch fishing, live fishing? I would have to do some fishing before, edit the video, and then put that in the beginning of the live stream, and then actually cook it. I was actually over at Matt's house the other day, and he had pulled out a fly rod and said, "Hey, is this any good?" And we actually strung it and put a fly on it and was casting with it in his yard. And it can be very graceful. For me, fly fishing, it's relaxing, but it's not relaxing and like I can sit and have a beer and smoke a cigar kind of relaxing. It's your hands are busy, you're focusing, and you have to concentrate on where the line is at. And when you get that tug at the back and when it's time to cast forward, and it's like sitting on a riding mower and just making straight lines, just focusing on making that straight line, but you can't do anything else with your hands because both hands are busy with line. Fly fishing works when alcohol is involved, but it has to be before or after. It's not like you can be casting and casting and casting and drinking and casting because your hand's busy. And they would just get mad when you ate the fish. It is focused at meditation for reals. 100% focused meditation. Does anybody else do meditation? I do now for, I don't know, the last 2 months or so. I actually do a nightly meditation. I have this headband thing, a Muse headband that I put on my head that monitors the brain waves, and for at least 5 minutes. I don't have a hard time falling asleep as it is. I could put my head down on the pillow and I just knock out. But I've been doing this, and it just helps to turn the mind off. You just everything shuts down, and it makes you focus on something that isn't even really there. I don't know. But yeah. What else? That's the holes of beer. That's actually a good idea. If I had the helmet with the 2 beer cans and a straw, I could drink beer while I'm casting. Both of you guys, look at that. You guys are all on it. That's awesome, Brittany. And you know what's funny is that it's not just like a relaxing music that I listen to. I've got a bunch of different Pandora stations that I follow, or that I listen to. And one of my favorites to fall asleep to is, who's the guy? I can't even remember his name now. He's done songs with Eminem, but it's like a white rapper guy. And I'll fall asleep to this crazy rap, or like a Scorpions station or something like that. And sometimes it's alternative music, and it's all over the place. It all just it does the same thing. Exactly. Go to another place. And that's what it does. And it doesn't matter what kind of music I listen to, it just removes all that head noise, and it's just music. You have a breathing Buddha for meditation. Huh. That's cool, Kitty. Right, Ian? Slayer? Yeah. It is crazy. It doesn't matter what kind of music. It could be anything. It's just something to, I don't know if it blocks it or it dilutes the noise that's in your head. Best way to cook fish: in foil. For me, it's in foil, butter, garlic, onion, salt, and then a little bit of lemon. That's how I like to do it. Music is, yeah, it's something you feel, not just listen to. You feel it. And that's one of the meditations that I do is a rain. It's like a rain and music. And when your mind starts getting more active, the rain gets louder, and so it tells you, hey, you're not focusing on whatever you're supposed to be focusing on. You're like, your mind it knows when your mind is wandering, and so the rain gets louder, so it's like, hey, oh no, and then you like refocus, and then the rain slows down. In the pan, yeah. So like if I had like a cast iron pan, I would do that with butter, salt, butter, lemon. Exactly. Chris, I have not heard you sing. I'm not sure about that. What else we got? What else we got? I got some dishes to do tonight. I hope my dishwasher's empty. I don't want to wash this. Brapson, do you really listen to classical? That's cool. Slugs from Star Trek. Heat from the tailpipe. That would, yeah. So I could do a foil meal suspended over the exhaust there. I wonder if you could put like a little metal, like a toolbox or something like that. Make that exhaust direct right underneath it, and then Now I could fall asleep to classical. I don't know writing. Heat it and smoke. Do smoked. There's a petroleum, a little bit of mesquite smoke in there. Yeah. That's cool. I could do that. I could do classical. Stan, do they have a set like that now? I don't know. Instead of doing a heat shield, do like something that pulls the heat off of it. How dark does the other camera look now? Look at that. Look at that. You can't even tell I have light. There's two lights on me, but they're 4 feet away, so you can't tell. All right, folks. It really does look like a roll of toilet paper sitting there. We're almost at an hour and a half, and I got nothing else to cook for you. 2-stroke smoked trout. Good idea, Crashy. Triple M, food warmer and smoker on sale. What a camp nerd. The triple M he's talking about is Moto Camp meals with my ADV 360. That So we could do a food warmer. Have been at Moto Camp Nerd sell it. A full album from artists that coincide with the year of the bike I'm riding. A 1989 Trans Alp. Huh. That's a great idea. I don't know how many great musicians there are from 2020 or from 20. I think the 250s of 2015, 2016. Definitely need to go back to the 70s and 80s to get some what I would think would be good music. I'd take that back. I like all kinds of music. If I'm going to stick, well, I'm just going to leave that alone. Cook your food all day, ready to go when you get to camp. Well, and if you did 2 meals, if you had something ready at breakfast before you left camp, you warm it up until you stop for lunch. And then while you're stopped there for lunch, you throw your dinner on there. You'll be good to go. Moto Camp Nerd. Next April 1st. I do need to get some older bikes. You're right. Well, thank you guys all for coming out tonight. I hope some of you got to eat while you watched me eat, while you continue to watch me eat. Hopefully you got some ideas and don't just do the bag of chips and a beer like I'm going to finish the night with, because good meals can be easy. What's that on my wrist? You mean my critter motor, get out there and ride from Get Lost, Find Yourself? That one? An entire chocolate bunny. It's always ears first, Brittany. Is there any other way, or nose first? Yeah. Maybe next time, Crashy, you can be a judge again. All right, folks. 18 inches tall. Oh, man. A chocolate bunny does sound good. The bunny butt. All right, peeps. I'm going to close this down. It took me like 3 hours to set up for tonight's live stream, and I don't even want to take it down. I think it's going to be tomorrow's problem. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you later. And we're going to end stream now. And then end stream again.